The cargo bay of the Meridian Drift stank of rust and fear. Rhea Voss pressed her back against the cold metal wall, her breathing shallow as Captain Vrelk circled her like a predator savoring wounded prey. The Kryn were known throughout the galaxy for their cruelty. Their scaled hides thick as armor, their teeth designed to rend flesh from bone. You thought you could steal from me, human? Vrelk hissed, his forked tongue tasting the air. Your kind always thinks they're clever. Rhea's lip was split, blood trickling down her chin. She'd been caught in the ship's storage compartment, trying to take enough ration packs to feed the other human captives locked in the lower decks. The Kryn trafficked in sentient cargo, and humans fetched good prices in the outer colonies, especially the desperate ones. I wasn't stealing, she said, her voice steady despite the fear coursing through her. I was taking what you owe us. Food. Basic dignity. Vrelk's clawed hand shot out, striking her across the face. Rhea's head snapped to the side, stars exploding behind her eyes. She tasted copper. You take nothing without my... The growl started low, almost subsonic. It rumbled through the cargo bay like distant thunder, making the metal walls vibrate. Vrelk froze, his scaled brow furrowing. Rhea felt it too, a presence, something ancient and furious awakening from slumber. From behind a stack of cargo containers, a shape emerged. At first glance, Driick looked almost cute, no larger than a Earth terrier, with soft golden fur and enormous eyes that gleamed like polished amber. But those who made the mistake of judging Varathi by their size rarely lived to regret it. The species was legendary, whispered about in spacer bars and trading posts across known space. They were humanity's first contact, discovered on a dying world that humans had helped evacuate. In gratitude, some Varathi had bonded with human ships, becoming companions, guardians, and in rare cases, family. Driick padded forward on silent paws, each step deliberate. Blood dripped from one small paw, Vrelk's navigator's blood. Rhea realized with sudden clarity. The Kryn who'd been standing guard outside was probably dead. What is that thing? Vrelk breathed, his confidence cracking. That, Rhea said quietly, is Driick, and you just made a very serious mistake. The cub sat back on its haunches, raising the bloodied paw to its mouth. With almost theatrical slowness, Driick licked the crimson fluid from its fur, its gaze never leaving Vrelk. When it spoke, its voice was a choir of harmonics, beautiful and terrifying, words that seemed to bypass the ears and speak directly to the soul. Touch her again, Driick said, its small mouth forming each syllable with perfect precision. And we'll devour you to each other. The temperature in the cargo bay seemed to plummet. Vrelk stumbled backward, his natural weapons, claws, teeth, muscle, suddenly feeling inadequate. The Kryn were apex predators on their homeworld, but Vrelk had heard the stories about Varathi, how they could phase through solid matter, how their bites carried venom that didn't just kill but unmade, breaking down molecular bonds until the victim's own body consumed itself from within. I didn't know she was claimed, Vrelk stammered, switching to the formal dialect of Galactic Common. I meant no offense to your bondmate. She is not my bondmate, Driick replied, taking another step forward. Its fur began to shimmer, cycling through colors that shouldn't exist, ultraviolet purples, infrared reds, shades that hurt to perceive. She is my friend, my pack. And you hurt her. The small cub's body began to expand, not growing in size but in presence. Shadow pooled around its paws like liquid darkness. Rhea had seen Driick playful, affectionate, curled up in her lap during long hyperspace jumps. She'd never seen this side, the side that made the Varathi feared across the cosmos despite their diminutive stature. Please, Vrelk said, his voice cracking. Please, I'll release them all. The humans. No charge. Just what? Driick interrupted, its voice dropping an octave. Just let you live? Just pretend you didn't strike my Rhea? The shadows around Driick's paws began to crawl up the walls, spreading like living things. Rhea could see shapes moving within them, other Varathi perhaps, or memories of hunts past, or something else entirely. The species' true nature was still a mystery, even to the xenobiologists who studied them. Vrelk's scales began to rattle a fear response. Rhea had never thought she'd see from a Kryn. "Driick," Rhea said softly. "Driick, look at me." The cub's head swiveled, those enormous eyes focusing on her face. The shadows hesitated, their advance pausing. "I'm okay," she continued, sliding down to sit on the floor, making herself as non-threatening as possible. "It hurts, but I'm okay. And we need him alive to fly this ship." For a long moment, Driick didn't move. Then, slowly, the shadows began to recede. The impossible colors faded from its fur, leaving only the soft gold. The presence, that overwhelming sense of ancient power, diminished until only a small, fluffy creature remained. Driick padded over to Rhea and climbed into her lap, surprisingly heavy despite its size. It began to purr, a sound like distant engines thrumming. "You're right," Driick said, its voice returning to its usual melodic tone. "We need him alive. For now." The emphasis on those last two words made Vrelk flinch. "Release the humans," Rhea commanded, one hand stroking Driick's soft fur. "All of them. Give them supplies, weapons, and set course for the nearest Alliance outpost. Do this, and you might survive to tell this story." Vrelk nodded frantically, backing toward the door. "Yes. Yes. Immediately. The humans will have full access, whatever they need." "And Captain Vrelk?" Rhea called as he reached the threshold. He turned, and she smiled, a cold expression that didn't reach her eyes. "If we ever cross paths again, remember this moment. Remember that humans don't travel alone. We bring family." As Vrelk fled, his scales still rattling with fear, Driick nuzzled against Rhea's chest. "You scared him good," she whispered. "Good," Driick replied. "He needed to learn. Humans are not prey. Not anymore, not ever again."